What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Yes, we are back again for another round of AOR Oceania F1 for season number 4. We're here, as you can see on your screen, at the British Grand Prix. I'll try and get my words out in a second. But we're here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Here's the reminder of the championship standings. So Big Chunkers is the championship lead over Alan Hugo. We're obviously down in position 14. You can check out where your favourite driver is. Ferrari, comfortable lead in the constructors, and of course Toro Rosso still down in 9th position, even though we got the two, I think it was 2 points last time out in Austria. We're still down in position number 9 with 3 points. So anyway, getting to around pretty much the halfway mark of season number 4 for AOR Oceania, and coming to a track where it's been a bit of a bogey track for me, especially, well, last season especially. It was completely another shocking weekend, as always, but I'll probably touch on that in a second. But reminder, if you haven't checked out the last round, race, which was the Austrian Grand Prix, or any of this season in this season and any of the previous seasons, I highly urge you to go check it out. There'll be obviously a playlist, as always, at the end of the video, and you can check out all the videos there of AOR Oceania anyway. So, like I was saying, it was a definite bogey track, even though last year I felt like I absolutely gave it my all, especially in qualifying. Well, we were completely way down the order, and myself, I was definitely way off the pace, and I think where my teammate back then, Laggy, we were not ideal placings anyway. So as we crop across the line, we set our first flying lap with a 127.212, which puts us currently in position 6. But as we now come back to the pit lane, we actually had to try and revive Top Banter back because I think he lost connection to the lobby or had some internet issues or something from memory. But we actually had the fastest final sector as well. But we're obviously back into the pit lane to chuck on another set of soft tyres. So I'll probably explain that one in a second. But obviously qualifying was shocking. Then the race got a bit of probably a lag hit into turn 1, got front wing damage, and then obviously had to try and do the rest of the race on a set of hard tyres, the Blue Wall hard tyres, which especially on this game, would not recommend at all, completely at all. I mean, if at least you have fairly decent-ish pace or a fairly good setup on the hard rubber, then for sure go for it. But and maybe, especially if you get an early race safety car around here, then you probably might be in some luck. But anyway, it was completely shocking. I think the only decent thing to come out of that one was I think we may have got fastest lap of the race from last season, but that was pretty much it. But anyway, set off for run number 2 here on another set of soft tyres. It's pretty simple around here, around Great Britain. Pretty much only do like the one stop around here. Well, it's pretty much the one stop is the norm, from starting on a set of soft tyres and going on to the medium tyres. Lap 2 was a little bit, a bit all over the shop there, from not having the greatest of runs coming out of the final corner at turn 18, and then obviously someone took out the 50-metre board down at turn 1. I don't know which idiot did that, to be honest, but cheers for that. That really helped me with my braking performance, where I usually brake the car anyway. So, but anyway, we'll continue on. So, obviously, the first run, I actually missed sector 1 there at lap 1, so apologies about that one. It was my fault for editing it out earlier on. But anyway, now coming through the flying left, right-hander Maggins and Beckett's. Felt like I pretty much nailed this section here. Felt pretty good. This is, by the way, this is not my fastest lap of the quality session. That's going to come a bit later on. But we're down back into position 9. You get a little bit of help there from Deathbro, who did pull out of the way there. But looking pretty good here to improve on our second run here. I think we're about 2.5 tenths up on sector 2 time. So get a decent run here out of the final corner. Get it right up close to the curve. Come across the line. We do set a 1 going to the 126s this time, a 995, which puts us into position number 7. And obviously straight back into the pit lane here with only, it's about, 4 minutes, about under 5 minutes left to go here. So it's pretty much a quick get back into the pit lane, get on onto another set of the soft tyres, and then go straight onto, get onto another set of soft tyres, and then get straight back out on the track, because the lap times around here, obviously, around the 126, 127 mark. So you need to leave yourself quite a good gap to make sure you get a lap time in, even one, maybe even 2 laps at best if you really wanted to. There's the current leaderboard at the moment. My teammate hasn't set a banker lap time yet, but yeah, from memory, can't remember who's actually on provisional pole. I think it was Show or Rain, one of those two. But anyway, just on the way out of pit lane there, just letting these guys through. That was both Top Banter and Laggy. I think these guys were actually on flyers, so hence why I decided to get out of the way here. But I pretty much kept it literally late as I could to make sure I could only have one run and make sure I don't burn up these tyres before coming to race. So we'll stick aboard here for my fastest lap of the quality session. So here we go, straight down into turn 1 in Abbey, right in close there to the curve, I should say. Now through turn 3, bit of a brake lock up there, wasn't the ideal line through there. Now turn 4, nice and tight through here. Try to get a deep good run out of here into turn 5. Now into this next long straight here. The Wellington straight, I think is what it's called actually. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're now coming into Brooklands. It was completely and utterly screwed that line up big time. So I knew I had to really make up in the final bit of the lap anyways. We come through Luffield and Woodcote, coming past the old pit lane building there on the right. Now it's lining up Cops Corner, which is fairly flat. Had to have a little bit of a lift off there because I wasn't confident about it. Probably if I kept it flat, I would have run wide and obviously invalidated my lap time. Now through Maggots and Beckett's, you take this nearly flat out through here. Left, right. Get a nice drive out of the corner here. We did lose obviously a bit of time through the Luffield, the Brooklands Luffield section actually. So we're now only 7/100ths of a second up. So at this rate, we're just barely going to improve on our lap time here as we nearly muck up the final couple of corners there through Vale. Now I'm trying to get a good drive out of here on the final corner. Come across the line. We do improve by about a 10th of a second, but we pretty much stay where we were in position 10 when I 126.881. But you'll be able to see here in a second. To my surprise, probably not who you think it's going to be on pole position because it's I'm Death Bro. I think gets his first ever pole position actually in F1, so congrats to him. H.O., Alan, Hugo and Rain, they're in the top 4. Fens there in position 5, obviously, and a few other guys down the order. Big Chungus especially, Warden is P11, so he'll have a free choice of tyres, but anything's possible. It's time to go racing here at the British Grand Prix. Alrighty, welcome to the grid, a very wet grid actually for the British Grand Prix, and typical British weather never fails to deliver. But I was sort of giving you a little bit of trying to keep it under wraps of what the weather conditions was like, but it's absolutely pouring it down here. So race strategy wise is sort of completely thrown out the window here. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a one-stop there. You can see just going through my setup there. It's probably not the ideal setup, but hey ho, I'm willing to give it a go anyway. So just give it a little bit of a tweak actually for a bit of the wet weather conditions. You usually try to do that as we set off for the formation lap.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. So yeah, it's absolutely pouring it down here at Silverstone, and I've definitely got a long race for ourselves here because I have said in the past, wet weather and me sort of don't work well. Sometimes, maybe at certain tracks it does, but other tracks it's pretty much horrible, really. So this is going to be very interesting to see whether we can continue this sort of point-scoring run here. It's going to be interesting to see what some people go for whether they go for the 1 stop or whether they could try for a 0 stop. You can get away with a 0 stop if you don't burn up your tyres.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
And it may be a possibility as well that the rain may improve later in this race. So here we go. All ready to go here. All set here for the round 5 of the British Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Let's do it around Silverstone. It was a pretty good start actually compared to Prez there. Didn't have the greatest of starts there. It caught up a little bit behind Matt there. There was pretty much nowhere to go. There was we somehow get a bit of a warning there with Big Chungus. But yeah, we've really dropped back to. We've already lost a couple of spots here. Nearly running into the back here of I think it was Tommy B actually. So trying to gain back some positions here as there's a bit of chaos already, and we got caught up in that. I think Alan Hugo may have been spun there.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
This was definitely not what I had planned, especially. Now I've got front wing damage, and well, this rate I was probably going to have to come into the pit stops and get this changed. But we're going side by side here into Brooklands with Kiowas. Have to let him go there a little bit. And so just making double check here, I think it was. Had the front wing damage and getting back to the usual multi-function display down the bottom right, but you know, dropped all the way back to P15 and he's got good speed actually on Kiowas there. Although the internet is was a little bit playing up, my internet I should say was playing up a little bit here, so it may look a bit suspicious there that Kiowas sort of what's the wording? Travelling a bit forward than more forward, coming backwards than usual. So I was just trying to get a good run here on Kiowas down the hanger straight here. We easily get the move done even before Stowe here. Yeah, you probably even saw as well that I have underfilled the car quite a bit. Usually with wet weather conditions you try not to have too much fuel in the car as Matt comes into the pit lane. So maybe he's definitely got front wing damage. Maybe wouldn't be surprised if he was the one that got tangled up there with Alan Hugo. So he's already in at the end of lap 1. So now next up for us up the road is Calvo in the Renault. But like I said, I was planning on coming in at the end of lap 1, but with the speed I had getting past Kiowas, well, may as well stick it out for maybe a couple of laps. And yeah, I don't know what Jeff was on there, but it was a bit of a late message there, to be honest. He could have said that earlier if he wanted to, but you see Calvo really struggling here through Marcus and Beckett, so we should try and get this move done here on the hanger straight. We've got plenty of slipstream here, side by side, and I think Calvo sort of backs out of it a little bit here, and we just managed to make it through into Stowe there, so now move up into position 12. Next up is Conrad. It's just a little bit further up the road here, but I was probably a little bit surprised at this point that I still had some fairly decent pace. Because, I mean, even with the front wing damage, I would have thought I was going to struggle a little bit as we nearly lose the car coming out of the final quarter there at Club.
The car in front is 2.9 seconds.
We now jump ahead a couple of lower laps and now onto lap 4. So this is where we really started to struggle a little bit more. The brake lock-up going into Brooklands really didn't help my cause there. So
right, come in at the end of this lap.
I thought at that time it may as well be good enough to maybe come in and into this lap and just pretty much complete our one only stop. And well, I absolutely muck up there in the pit lane where the pit lane line was. So a little bit of fault on my behalf there, but it's a little bit tricky because you don't want to come in blazing hot speed there into the pit lane around here, especially because it is quite a long pit lane. So I had to cut out most of it in the video. So anyway, we now drop into last position because obviously
strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Matt has now got past and up into position 15, but this is pretty much our one-stop strategy done and dusted. So we could potentially go to the end of the race, but the hard work's going to have to begin now. But we'll jump up with some replays on board with a V-Fence. So he's got a fairly decent start actually compared to Rain and Alan Hugo. Gets up both the inside there into turn number 1 and gets the move done, so not too bad there for the man who's currently in, where is he, third in the championship I think, as he just tries to squeeze out Rain there. Turn 4 I should say. you'll see all the chaos is all happening behind there, so it's can't really tell there. And Death Bro actually lost the jump, lost the start there as well to HO off the line. So let's have a look here with Alan Hugo. So just sort of slots in behind Rain here. Has a little bit of a look up the inside here. Oh, he gets a little bit of a tap there and another one. And oh, okay. So maybe it wasn't Matt. I'm not sure. Maybe
you've taken some minor damage.
Somebody else. But also mentioned Alan Hugo's now got front wing damage, which I didn't realise at the time. So I think he'll probably have to come in for a pit stop to get change of front wing. Now, lap 5 we go for this one. This is Benz and Death Bro fighting it out for the second place in this race. It's Death Bro just managing to hang on. HO, with this battling that these two are having, is sort of helping out HO big time here. He's starting to pull away here. The man, of course, who won last time out in Austria. And probably put himself back in this championship fight as well. Even though it's sort of halfway through the season, there's not many races to go. Obviously, we've still got, we got? Germany, Belgium, Italy.
The rain's really coming down, soft braking into the first corner.
Japan and Brazil left, as Jeff just giving me a few tips on wet weather driving, which I probably ignored at the time anyway. But lap 5, just a little bit of draft work coming through Cops, I should say. But yeah, this is probably where the race went all downhill from here on in, as I nearly have a big moment coming through Maggots and Vectors. But this is just pretty much all handy wheel work here, just trying to keep it on the track.
I definitely think we need to stay on this tyre a bit longer, but there's no question that the track is drying. We might be in a position to change soon.
Jeff was obviously giving that interesting message to say that it may dry up soon, but at the moment, not looking like it'll dry up any time at all, because there's a lot of puddles every which way you look. So still plenty of standing water there, even though it sort of looks like it's easing a little bit coming out of the final corner. Again, drifting it way out there and nearly colliding with the pit lane wall there. But just managing to hang on. I think that was pretty much the majority of my race anyway. But back we go here to the battle for second here. And again, Death Bro trying to hold off Fens here. Fens will go to the inside line going into Brooklands. There's a little think about it. Death Bro's will have the line for the next one. Fens will try and go the long way around, but not quite working out. Maybe not quite trying to Max Verstappen lose it. What was it in the wet in Brazil 2016? I think it was. Not quite. Haven't got that quite mastered yet, as we run very wide and coming into Cop's corner there. So now this is still drifting all over the place here, and we did have a fairly good gap to Matt originally after the pit stop, but after that it sort of really dropped away. It's now lap 7. Fens has now got a very good run here on the Kemmel Straight here. Oh, it's not Kemmel Straight, Hangar Straight I should say, on Death Bro. But again, Death Bro doing a pretty decent job here, managing to hold him up for now. Like I mentioned, these two battling is sort of helping HO out, as that gap is really getting big at the front, as we ran a little bit wide there through turn 3. So we'll jump back to this battle here up the front. So yeah, lap 9. Again, Death Bro having a little bit of a sideways moment there coming out of turn 5. Fens goes up the inside here. Just got enough mode to squeeze Death Bro out a little bit. He's going to hang on, is he? Now he's finally got it. So now goes up in position 2 and puts Death Bro back into position 3 as back to us.
Time penalty for that last incident.
Our first time penalty of this race. But yeah, my pace in the wet in this race was just horrible, really. I mean, like I said, we're coming out of the pits. It was a fairly decentish gap to Matt ahead, but he's really starting to pull away quite a bit here.
Gap to car in front is 6.9 seconds. They're on old wets. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:44.3.
We're sort of double checking there with Jeff to see whether Matt had any time penalties, but wasn't the case here. But there's number 1 spin for the race, and I sort of knew this was inevitable, that this was going to happen, because yeah, like I mentioned before, the pace was literally nowhere.
Fuel. Try shifting up the gears a little sooner. This should help us save some fuel.
I was trying to save a little bit of fuel as well, trying to get back on into the positive here in the green half of the fuel here. So again, coming through Maggins and Beckers, nearly lose the car again, coming through on lap 10, I should say, but yeah, just never got the lines quite right at all, especially in the wet. So it was probably trying a little bit of a few different lines here. I was trying literally everything, like trying different brake bias, trying different differential, but just nothing seemed to work here as we lose the car again, coming through at the end of Chapel, I think this is. So now spun the car. Thankfully, we're pretty much here on our own, so I mean...
The circuit's definitely looking better than it was a few minutes ago. If we can just move a bit more of that standing water, we might be able to get onto the intermediates.
I mean, Jeff's probably got a point there, because it's sort of starting to drive a little bit, but it's not quite close enough yet, as we... Bit of a drift moment coming through turn number between 3 and 4, I should say, but again through turn 12, a big understeer moment, and we're off here at Luffield. So yeah, at this point, I mean,
This heavy rain will last around 15 minutes, after which we should see a transition to light rain.
I tried literally everything I could in the book here, but just lose the back end a little bit there and actually get a weird time penalty for some unknown reason, which I didn't agree with at the time. But yeah, just trying to drive back and actually hit the wall there, trying to get back onto the road here.
We've been awarded a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
Yeah, at this stage I pretty much already a lap down, so I just pretty much decided to wait for the guys that are voluntarily in the top 10
they help save fuel. Our gap to the car in front
let them go,
1.3 seconds.
Let those cars go by anyway. So did actually manage to get the lap back that we'd already lost, but yeah, at this rate again we're just off at Luffield as there goes Top Banter. So yeah, we're pretty much in dead last here. We're really losing time, and as I said, we got the lap back because HO and most of the other leaders did pit.
43.0 seconds.
He nearly collided with the pit wall there. I think nearly take out one of the pit boards there.
Blue flag, blue flag.
So lap 14, there's the race, well, it should be effective race leader HO, because he's the first one that's come in, but I think one of the top guys is still out there trying to brave it out here. So yeah, but for me especially,
be aware, we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
I mean, the tyre wear, didn't feel too bad here, but yeah, literally I'm just all over the shop here, and I'm just furious. I'm nearly just done to just like throw the towel in at this point, because it's pretty much there's not much we're going to gain here, or not going to lose anything, and we lose the car again coming through Maggins and Beckett's, and well, that pretty much just sums up my race really. So we just try and get back going again, obviously. Just waiting for all the cars to just go past here and just, well, try and find a bit of a gap here. Nearly do similar to what we did to a couple of laps earlier. So keeping a close eye on the mini-map there and just trying to find a bit of room there. And
okay, we can take you this lap.
Yeah, at that point it was just, like I said, time to throw in the towel really, because nothing to gain, nothing to lose. We're pretty much in dead last anyway, and well, it's just this setup. The cast is nowhere really, so no really much point fighting for these last 10, 11 laps. So straight into the pits we come, and we're just going to retire out of the session. Probably not the ideal way to finish this British Grand Prix, but again, it's still one of my bogey tracks, and hopefully maybe F1 2019 may change that one. But I did actually stick around for the rest of this race to see what on earth was going on for the rest of this race. So this is lap number 18 here. This is Mick Chungus, Warden chasing after Rain there for the podium. This is Death Bro and Laggy having a bit of a battle here. I think Laggy's going to try go around the outside. And yes, he does get it done coming through Luffield. So the pole sitters really dropped away a little bit here. So probably doesn't quite have the pace like he did in the dry compared to the wet. But this is like lap onto lap 19 on the 20 as Big Chungus is a big slide coming out of Chapel there, and he's really lost all that margin to Rain ahead. He's just barely hanging on here in like I said, in position number 3. This is all yellow flags by the looks of things, and by the looks of it, Master Berserk's really struggling all over the shop here, so he's lost a couple of spots there, so anyway, a bit of a tough one there for Berserk, but anyway, lap 21 on the 22 now. This is Conrad. I think he's going to be the first one to gamble here on the intermediate tyres, and Conrad is well known to do this, to try a little bit of a gamble, because it may work here. There's a nice bit of a gearbox glitch there for Berserk, but he's also in and chucking on the intermediate tyres. So he's got a few buddies there as Conrad. So also my teammate decided to go on the intermediate tyres, but of course most of these guys on the wets are still going, especially if you look at the race leader, V-Fence. He's still out there. He hasn't even stopped, and he's been on those tyres pretty much since lap 1. Oh, Big Chungus, I think he's lost the car. Hold it, Warden, just. And with that slide, he's now lost position to Laggy. He obviously dropped away big time from Rain ahead, but now dropped behind into position 5. And when you consider the Chinese race winner is really struggling a little bit in the wet, I was probably a little bit surprised, but Prez well and truly off the road here. Where's this off at turn 2 at Farm? By the looks of things, so thankfully I don't think he's lost too much time. May have lost position there, but back into position number 9 here. Looks like it's going to be an inter-team battle here between both the Haas's here for the podium. As Laggy's now closing in the back. Rain, it looks like he's lost the car, and there's contact between the teammates. Has forced Rain to spin out. And he's lost a spot there, obviously, well, 2 spots actually, because Chungus has now gone through, but that is a bit of an awkward situation, this one, but it is a replay actually from that incident. You can see as we go through the corner here, we did slow this down. You see Rain does lose the car a little bit here, and I think, I mean, it's a tricky one there. Obviously, you don't want to be really taken out by your teammate, but don't know if there's much else that Laggy could have done. I would show you Rain's footage from what occurred there from his onboard, but it just kept bugging up on my Sony Vegas program here, so I apologise for that one. But it was sent to the stewards for clarity, as always. But I think it was deemed, from memory, just a racing incident. So as Rain is now really struggling, he's now lost another spot to Death Bros. I think Berserk's actually got by, we saw then on Matt, that was for position 10, actually in the final points playing position, so Berserk's got a bit more pace. His top banter now, looking up the inside here in a turn, where is this, at Stowe, and they go side by side here. And these two won't want to fight too much here, because there is a lurking Ferrari in the background here in the form of Alan Hugo, as Rain just manages to hang on for now, but here comes the man I said, Alan Hugo. Looks like he's got a fairly decent run coming onto the front straight here, but not quite close enough in the end. But to be fair to Fens, he did an amazing job actually. He's done the incredible to do the 0 stop, manages to win the British Grand Prix by an absolute age, literally. I think it's like 21 odd seconds in the end. We'll see the final race results in a second, but there's Big Chungus putting it into the wall there, and just ahead of Death Bro, and all these two are going to fight it after the line. I think top banter will cross the line in front, but Alan Hugo will get it because I think for penalties. So great battling all around anyway. So there you go. There's the podium. So like I said, Fens absolute. Well, we can say pretty much a masterclass, even though he was the only one that did the 0 stop around here. But pretty much managed the wet tyres, and get all the way 26 laps. It's an incredible effort. So the big congrats to him for that one. But yeah, it's pretty much a bit of a poor showing on my part. So a big apologies about that one. But anyway, there's the final race results. So Fens, HO, and Laggy do get up onto the podium. Of course, like I mentioned, Laggy was taken to the stewards by his teammate Rain, but of course that was that was given a racing incident, so no further action. You got Jig Chungus there in 4th, and you got Death Bro. Rain finishes up in 6th. Alan Hugo, top banter. Mars Berserk in P9. I think he actually got the fastest lap of the race. And Prez running out the top 10. And obviously you go back down the field, and there's both the Toro Rossos way down in position 15. And pretty much I was the only one that DNF'd out of this race, even though, like I said, it was completely shocking. But for the championship-wise, that means V-Fans has a 5-point advantage over Big Chungus in the championship, heading to Germany. HO is still hanging on there in position 3, jumping ahead of Alan Hugo in 4th. Laggy, you got Death Bro, top banter, Master Berserk, Rain, and R8 running out your top 10. And we jump actually up into position 13 because there is a good reason, because DRC Jared was actually, I think, well, maybe for this event, I think he was, from memory, blacklisted for something that was shared on Twitter by a certain Greek master, 99. So it was a bit unfortunate the way it goes, but hey, you can't sort of tolerate the sort of behaviour anyway. But anyway, we'll move on from that one. Ferrari still have an advantage over Force Indian Constructors. Sauber, I think, are pretty much equal on points as well. Then you got Mercedes and Haas battling away, and then Williams not too far behind. Then you got Red Bull. They're pretty much the bottom 4 are pretty much remaining the same there. And McLaren still got that one singular point. So hopefully you enjoyed this race. Well, probably not from my perspective anyway. But sorry it had to end the way it was. But it was just completely and utter shocking, really, for myself. So hopefully we'll rectify that for the next one. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania content on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, I'll leave the links as well to the AOR website and the YouTube channel, and probably the Twitter channel if you want to go check them out as well. But yeah, like I was mentioning, next round is at Germany. So until the German Grand Prix, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.